At this time, would the senior choir students please rise to sing the national anthem and the alma mater? The national anthem will be sung by Sarah Lakai, Anna Maritzis, and Jacob Vincennicola.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? We, thy children, Kingston High School, one in loyalty, ever shall be bound together by our love for thee. May thy ideals like the Catskills, rising towards the blue, like the never-changing Hudson, be as great and true. Alma mater, Kingston High School, we shall never fail to respect thee, aid thee, love thee. KHS, all hail, all hail.
Good job, guys.
Now, Principal Mr. DeSico will make his address.
Thank you, Allie. You all may be seated. Dr. Paolino, Ms. Bonville, Board President, Mr. Shaughnessy, and the board, Mr. Paolino's cabinet, our administrative team, Mrs. Montano, Mrs. Armstrong, Mrs. Bartley, Ms. Skorka, Ms. Saletti, all our honored guests, all our parents, grandparents, family, friends, and the class of 2021, thank you for being here tonight. Just bear with me here for a second, please. And I promise I'm going to be short. Usually I don't take too long with my little speeches here, but okay. Here we go. Is Lourdes Kennedy here? Lourdes, come to the front, please, because you won the lottery last night. I drew one name out of a hat, and you were the girl. You were the one. I said, I'm going to ask her to come up for a minute and help me out with my speech. It's going to be real quick, I promise. And by the way, Lourdes is a perfect example of everyone who's sitting here tonight, because I know you guys worked really hard, and I know Lourdes did, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm very proud of every single person sitting here today. But Lourdes, can I ask you a question? I have a $50 bill in my hand. Do you want it? Can I ask you why?
Why?
Why do you want it?
Its value?
It has value, correct. $50 bill has value, right? So what if I crumbled up my hand like this? You still want it?
Yeah.
Still have value?
Yep.
Lourdes, what if I take this 50, throw it on the ground, stomp on it, stamp on it, give it all kinds of heck, everything I have, right? Maybe put some dirt on it. You still gonna want it?
Yep.
Because it still has value, right? Lourdes, take this 50, go back to your chair, sit down, enjoy the rest of the speech. I promise you it's only gonna be another minute long, okay? She won the lottery, guys. Sorry I couldn't do that for everybody, but she won the lottery, you know what I'm saying? But no matter how crumbled we feel sometimes, right? No matter how much heck the world gives us, right? No matter how much dirt is poured upon us, we all still have value. Everyone in this stadium has value, not just the students, but everyone always has value. We've been through a lot the last 4 years, but especially the last 15 months. Nobody knew what to do during a pandemic. But I know the people around me, they all had value. We all got together. We all created systems that worked, systems just to survive, right? And that's the most important thing. That's the moral of my story today, is that no matter what life throws at you, remember, you always have value at every moment in your life. And don't ever forget that. I thank you all for being here. I congratulate you on your hard work, your determination. You guys are amazing. I'm so excited we're all here together as a group to celebrate with the entire community. This is what we needed today. This is what I needed today, I'll tell you that. And I'm so happy and proud to be your principal, and I'm so happy and proud that this is the class of 2021, the most valuable class I've ever been a part of. And I thank you very much. I'm a mess. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the class of 2021 President, Allie Mitchell.
Hi, guys. Well, we're here. Welcome, honored guests, administrators, teachers, friends, families, the Garners. I know you're out there somewhere. And most importantly, the best and strongest class that has ever gone through Kingston High School, the class of 2021. "13 years ago, we, members of the class of 2021, were in kindergarten. Also 13 years ago, my dad lost me in Mexico. But I'll get back to that later. We, the class of 2021, were the class that wasn't alive during 9/11, but felt like we were. We were kindergarteners as the first African-American president was elected, and as America underwent the largest recession since the Great Depression. We experienced wretched hurricanes like Sandy and Harvey, terrorism such as the Boston Marathon bombing, and school shootings including Sandy Hook Elementary and Parkland, Florida. We are the generation that has been engulfed into social media such as Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. We lived through two very tense presidential elections in 2016 and 2020 and felt the widening division in society based on political ideology. We watched movements such as Occupy Wall Street, March for Our Lives, and Black Lives Matter pursue change in our country. And oh yeah, we went to school in the middle of a pandemic. In terms of the Kingston City School District, we were the guinea pig class. We were the first fifth graders in the middle schools, one of the first classes to undergo the transition to Common Core, and the first ninth graders in the brand new East and West buildings. We watched as the MJM and Tobin buildings were torn down. We went through the very devastating change from full to quarter bagels for Bagel Fridays. And we were the first senior class to ever deal with hybrid learning. We experienced bomb threats in middle school, clown sightings on evenings where there shouldn't have been clowns, and power outages due to a transformer on Andrew Street blowing up. Despite all of this, somehow, we're standing here, about to graduate. I'm going to be honest, it is incredibly difficult to force yourself out of bed on a Tuesday morning when your education is defined by an 8 by 13-inch screen, and when there seems to be little to no hope for the state of the world to improve. And for that, I'd like to applaud every member of the class of 2021 sitting here before me. No matter if you're attending a prestigious school or just planning to take classes at SUNY Ulster, if you're Jason Chen or Andrew Hill, or didn't even make the honor roll, if you're going D1 or you're just mediocre at gym class nitro ball, if you have the voice of an angel like Sarah Lakai, or if you really only sound good singing in the shower, if you're as artistic as Annabelle Fisher, or you are pretty bad at coloring in the lines, if you got through this roller coaster of a year, you deserve, well, I don't know, audience, don't you think that the people sitting here before me deserve another round of applause? The class of 2021, everyone. I wish that I had the time to thank every single person that got me through this high school and a broken back, but I have to get my friend Brendan up here. Here are a few special shout-outs, though. To the administrators and board members that made this singular graduation possible, to the teachers that never gave up and always tried to bring optimism to the table when there really wasn't any to be found, to my favorite #Women in STEM, Mrs. Garner and Mrs. Johnston, to Mr. Garner for teaching me about musica ficta, to Coach Chris and Cahill for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, to Rachel Myers for going above and beyond always, to my advisors, Mrs. K, Mr. K, and Mrs. Silverberg, to the whole class of 2021 team, including Mrs. Armstrong, Mr. Idella, Mrs. Madonna, Mrs. Whitty, and Ms. Timbrook, to my sisters, Amanda, Angia, and Abby for dealing with me. You're welcome. To the rest of my family, to my girls on the KHS varsity swim team and track and field team for shaping me into the person I am today and being my second family, to anyone that has ever carried my backpack, to anyone that has ever lended a hand or supported me, thank you, and oh yeah, thank you. As you can see, since I am standing here, my dad did eventually find me in Mexico. It was a scary half an hour, but he did eventually. My dad has spent the past 18 years bragging about me, and I think it's only fitting if I do the same for him for once. My dad is Iron Man. He's had a full knee replacement, 1 valve replaced, and 2 repaired in his heart, and has been defibrillated multiple times in the past 2 years. He used to be able to run a 2:45 marathon, and he also makes really good sautéed broccoli. Thank you for being my biggest fan and unconditionally supporting me, Dad. I should also recognize the woman that deals with the madness, my mom, Kim, for always being there to give hugs, but also to encourage me to be the best person I can be. You're the only woman I know that could run for 60 minutes, swim for 60 minutes, and bike 60 miles, all in one day on your 60th birthday. You both inspire me every day. To the class of 2021, it's been an honor being your president for the past 4 years, and I can't wait to see what you all accomplish. The only piece of advice I can really think to give is learn to love the journey rather than the destination. The destination might not be as great as you think, so you might as well have fun on the way there. Someone once asked me what I would do if we had a normal senior year. And as Kanye West once said, I guess we'll never know. If there is one thing that Brendan Arbiter is very passionate about, It's the SAT. In fact, he's so enthusiastic about standardized testing that he accidentally spilled sweet and sour sauce on my dad's jacket on the way home from an SAT. Just kidding, Brendan actually hates the SAT and is very against standardized testing. The nocturnal guy who rocks Crocs and his Bass Pro Shop, one of the strongest people I know, student government president, Brendan Arbiter.
Thank you. Hello, class of 2021 graduates. Congratulations on achieving such a huge milestone in life. I've been stressing trying to figure out what I want to say during this very moment for the past few weeks, but to be honest, I'm not so sure. I couldn't decide if I wanted to be funny, or if I wanted to be motivational, or if I should just address the pandemic like every other speech we've heard this past year. However, the one thing I knew I wanted to address is the principle of ownership. As individuals, we have our entire lives to do whatever we wish to do. We can go on and excel in college and get any degree we want. We can try to expand our dreams and become singers or rappers or movie stars. We can simply just do nothing and take in the world for what it is. But the point is, we have the power to do whatever we put our minds to. Throughout my 4 years of high school, I've struggled so much trying to understand what happiness truly means and how to achieve that for my future. However, the older I get, the more I realize that happiness is built off of standards that we set up for ourselves. Life is meant to be a journey that we explore and learn from based off of our own decisions. From this day forward, we're beginning a new chapter of our lives that contains more fear than comfort for many. Some people are stressing about the fact that their life is losing the structure that high school provided them, and others are stressing the fact that life is simply just changing. But regardless of the stress, it's going to be okay. As we all grow up, it's important to understand what we need to begin doing. We need to own up to our responsibilities and hold ourselves accountable when needed. We need to own up to the highs and the lows of life and be grateful for what we have instead of complain about what we're missing. We need to own up to the fact that this is our lives that we're living, and we're living for no one other than ourselves. With that being said, do what you want to do with your life and do what will make you happy. To the parents and guardians, thank you all for coming out to our graduation and for supporting the class of 2021. I can only imagine how proud yet nervous you all are for your children. This day now marks a new chapter of our lives where we experience the world for all it has to offer. So considering that, I wanted to direct this part of my speech towards you. As humans, my fellow graduates and I are going to make mistakes and grow from those mistakes. We'll likely do things that make you upset and frustrated, and you'll probably never understand why we make some of the decisions that we do. But that's just how life is, and it's really for no one to understand but ourselves. We need to begin to allow ourselves to explore our interests and do the things that we want simply because it'll make us happy. I can't wait for you guys to see us grow and achieve all the great things that we're destined to achieve. To the underclassmen, advocate for yourselves. If you don't agree with something, try to change it. Make your voice heard and don't let it be ignored. High school is the time of your life where you begin to see yourself for who you really are. Spend time with your friends, go to all of the parties, and live life the way it's supposed to be lived. Make your grades a priority, of course, and participate in clubs and activities, but don't revolve your 4 years around stressing about grades. It's not worth the mental burden, and it won't matter in the long run. You guys have the power to change the school as you feel fit, so do with that what you will. To the school, thank you for causing me more stress than I ever could have imagined. I'm grateful for the academic foundation you guys helped me build and for the opportunity to explore my interests in all of our different clubs. All of my teachers played a huge part in my academic success, and I'm extremely grateful for each and every one of you. Lastly, to the class of 2021, if there's anything I want you guys to take away from this speech, it's this. Live life to the absolute fullest extent that you can. There's no need to worry about what everyone thinks of you or what society expects from you for the rest of your life. When I say take ownership over your own life, I mean for you to do the things you've always wanted to do and live solely for yourself. Life is deeper than just grades, college, jobs, and family. Life is about experiences and memories that last a lifetime. Own up to your interests, own up to your identity, and own up to the person that you're becoming. Lastly, I'd like to say that it's okay to be scared for the future, because I know I am. In some ways, it seems like our lives are planned out day by day until this very day. And now that we're here, who really knows what's next? But it's time for us to start living in the now instead of worrying about the past or planning for the future. Once again, congratulations, class of 2021. We finally did it.
This past week, I had the pleasure of going to Lake George with a few of my fellow seniors. One of those fellow seniors was our very own salutatorian, Andrew Hill. This Andrew Hill, if you did not know, really enjoys fishing. He lives, breathes, and sleeps fishing. I'm pretty sure he wrote his college essay about fishing, actually. Anyway, the other day while in Lake George, the fate of the rest of the group was in the hands of Andrew Hill. Andrew was in a different boat than the rest of the group. Due to an unfortunate series of events, the battery of the boat that the large group was in died. Andrew Hill sped off back to the house before it was realized that the boat was dead. The big group called those back at the house to alert Andrew that the boat was dead. He didn't have his phone, and on his way home, he did not pay attention to the fact that the boat was with the rest of his friends was not behind him. He instead anchored the boat and went fishing, leaving us stranded for a half an hour. He did catch a 5.5-pound lake trout, though. Also, shout out to Dr. Keller for saving the day. Thus, the class of 2021 salutatorian, Andrew Hill.
Where is it? If you guys can't tell already, I really enjoy fishing. So that wasn't already put out there by Allie. But to the friends, family, faculty, and honored guests, welcome to the official graduation for the class of 2021. Come on. You guys are probably tired of clapping already, but, well, what can I say? We did it. All those countless hours of school, from calculating the Pythagorean theorem, to writing literary analysis essays, to spending hours on homework, AP exams, and Regents exams, have all paid off. We're no longer teenagers who are transitioning into adulthood. We're now teenagers transitioning into adulthood with a piece of paper called a high school diploma. We're truly growing up. As we grow older, things will change. Many of us will get married and have kids. For the rest of us, I don't want to give false hope. Our parents will no longer nag us when we are minding our own business. Instead, the IRS will nag us about our overdue taxes. Hopefully not overdue, but that'd be a bad situation there. Most importantly, we must now support ourselves without the help of our family. As we embark on our separate paths, I wanted to leave you all with a few pieces of advice. 1, enjoy life's precious moments. Stay up to watch the sunrise or take a spontaneous road trip with friends. Tell that guy or girl how you feel. Try out a new hobby. 2, discover your passion and indulge yourself in it. I recently read a book called You Are Not Special by David McCullough Jr. In his book, McCullough describes a student named Jack who he perceived as unique from the others. Jack was a below-average student who was often in trouble for his late or missing work. Many of his teachers would become angry with his apparent lack of care for becoming successful. Little did they know, Jack displayed a true passion for drawing, creating immaculate sketches from blank paper and pen. Like Jack, if you cultivate a passion, success will come with it. 3, learn to embrace change. On average, we will change jobs a total of 12 times, and we will move houses a total of 11 times. Ironically, though, change is the only constant throughout our lives. 4, you can grow into any person you set out to become. Don't ever let anybody say that you cannot accomplish your goals. Rather, surround yourself with people who will uplift and encourage you. This will ensure you stay focused on your endeavors. But perhaps even more pivotal, you must have the self-discipline to continue your endeavors. 5, if you leave with only one piece of advice, leave with this. Don't wear dress pants and don't wear dress pants when it's 80 degrees out for graduation. It's not a good idea. But on a serious note, live a life that you are proud of. Because as cliche as it sounds, life is too short for regrets. Whatever your plans hold, life will get tougher. We'll each have our own trials and tribulations. At some point, we may question our ability to persevere from failure. But as a famous rapper, Lil Uzi once said, you'll get over it. Unless it's a really tall fence. Then you'll probably just have to walk around. Class of 2021, congratulations.
The student who earns the highest academic, sorry. The student who earns the second highest academic average in the graduating class is recognized as a class salutatorian. The student receiving this award has earned an academic average of 103.1689. The salutatorian award is presented to Andrew Hill. Sorry I did it out of order. Andrew Hill, everybody. The student who earns the highest academic average in the graduating class is recognized as the class valedictorian. The student receiving this award has earned an academic average of 104.9516. The valedictorian award is presented to Jason Chen. Jason Chen, stay there. Stay here for 1 second. Just stand by me.
I got it. It's okay.
Okay. The class of 2021 is undoubtedly the best class that KHS has ever seen. We are a very intelligent and competent class, as we have Tori Adams that will be attending St. Rose in the fall to study education. Catarino Rodriguez, who is majoring business, administration, and management at Russell Sage College. Janine Ohinia J, that will be studying computer science at the University of Toronto. Nolan Fuller, that is headed to Cornell and was a National Merit Scholar. Jason Chen, that was also a National Merit Scholar and was accepted into, the easy schools, Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and is headed to MIT. And many others that deserve to be mentioned, but it would take me all day. Obviously, we are very smart, and a lot of us are pretty good at math, especially Jason Chen. To show this in a very simplistic manner, to portray the absolute genius and wisdom of our class, I'd like to ask Jason Chen one singular question. Jason, can you come here? What is 9 plus 10?
21. None of you guys better be recording. Don't send it to MIT. Good evening, everyone. Before I start, I'd like to congratulate my fellow classmates once again for their tenacity and perseverance this year. Woo! You have graduated in arguably the most unique and challenging of conditions. Of course, none of us accomplished the feat of surviving high school alone. And so it's only fitting to take a moment to recognize the work and support of our teachers, staff, and parents. Without them, none of us would be sitting out here today at Deed Stadium. As I stand in front of you today, I can't help but notice all the ways we've changed during high school. I mean, take a look at the people sitting beside you. They're definitely not the same person that walked into the school freshman year. Some of us have changed our hair and the way we dress. Others have picked up a new interest or hobby. And some of you guys have just grown to be really tall. I'm not sure what your parents are feeding you, but I'd like to know, since I haven't grown an inch. And aside from the changes to our physical appearance, we've all experienced changes in our lives externally. Like Ali said, we really are the guinea pig class. Constantly thrown into new environments and circumstances, like entering middle school a year early, attending KHS while still under construction, and dealing with the pandemic, of course, we have managed to adapt and rise above every challenge in our way. And if nothing else, I think that means we're pretty awesome guinea pigs. My point is, life, whether we like it or not, is fluid. And that means it will always change, like the current in a river or the tides in the ocean. You can either embrace it and follow the flow, or you can fight it and get swept away. And since all of you guys have passed your swim test, hopefully to graduate today, I'd like to think you would choose to embrace change. I get it. Change is scary, but it is also inevitable, and we'll face many more changes in our futures. So the sooner we accept it, the better we can adapt to it. But what's more important than embracing change is to be an agent of change. Our world today has no shortage of problems to solve, environmentally, socially, economically, fiscally. You get the idea. And having the privilege to know some of you throughout my time in high school, and even before, there's no doubt in my mind that we'll begin to trim that list down in the future. As high school graduates, we stand on the precipice of the real world. It is no longer a distant reality, a concept we talk about in our free time, or an excuse we use to not do our homework. It begins here. It begins today. In many ways, leaving high school is like leaving behind an entire lifetime. Some of us will never see each other again. Others may never return to Kingston. But all of us will never be the same again. However, regardless of how we feel about leaving, I'd like you all to think of graduation not as the ending, but the beginning, the launching point that will guide us through a trajectory of the rest of our lives. And while I can't claim to know you all personally, I have a feeling that all of you will find your place in the world like you have here in this community. Now, it's time for me to stop talking about creating change and for us to actually do it. Graduates of the class of 2021, I wish you the best of luck.
Our graduation speaker today is Ulster County Executive Patrick K. Ryan. He will now address the class.
Good evening, everybody. It is really good to be together with this amount of people for the first time in a really, really long time. So I'm so glad we're all together. I want to start by thanking Superintendent Padalino, Principal DeSico, School Board President Shaughnessy, the entire board, your faculty, your staff, your parents, and of course, to the distinguished graduates of the Kingston High School class of 2021. As I prepared for today, I had the opportunity to speak with some of you, students, parents, some of your teachers and counselors and leaders. I actually even called my own Kingston High School graduation speaker from 21 years ago, that's Assemblyman Kevin Cahill, to ask their advice. And they all agreed on one thing: be brief. So I'm going to try my best to honor that request. I know I'm standing between you and very well-deserved celebrations and parties and time with family and friends. But I have to say it is an absolute honor to be here today, not just as your county executive, but as a proud Kingston High School graduate myself. This makes me sound old, but 21 years ago, I sat right where you are. I was a member of the Kingston High School class of 2000. Yeah, all right. And many of you may not know this, but I feel I have a special bond with this year's graduating class, especially with about 15 of you. My mom, Patty Ryan, better known to some of you as Mrs. Ryan, taught kindergarten, first and second grade for 24 years at Chambers Elementary. When I called her and told her I'd be speaking at your graduation, she was beyond excited. She immediately pulled out her old Chambers Elementary School yearbook from 2010 to 2011. And yes, she has every single one saved from every single year. And she started just pouring out stories and memories and recollections of her students. And I really wanted to share some of them, but I promised I would not embarrass anybody by name. I was really moved, though, by several moments she shared about those 15 members of her second grade class at the age of 7 and 8. And she really went out of her way to say that of all the classes she's had, she genuinely felt like this group was the most kind and how they really supported each other, even back then. And she actually shared this screenshot of the note that she wrote in your Chambers Elementary School yearbook, and she said, this is my best impression of my mom's voice, "Remember to treat each other with kindness and always be the best that you can be." And you all, especially those 15, definitely did that for me in a way that you probably don't even remember. Because at the same time that you were in elementary school, I found myself halfway across the world deployed in Iraq, living on a small army base in the city of Mosul. It was a really long 15 months, and without a doubt, the absolute highlight of that deployment was when care packages would arrive, especially when we knew it was coming from my mom's students at Chambers. My fellow soldiers and I would tear open the box, we'd pull out drawings, we'd pull out notes of encouragement, we'd pull out lots of baby wipes, which when you're on a base with no running water, you can imagine why those are more valuable than gold, but I won't go into that detail. And I'm sure, and I imagine anyway, that you don't remember sending those packages. But I can still vividly remember the stick figure drawings, the hand-drawn hearts on those cards, the thank yous scribbled in crayon. And it's really hard to describe how much those notes and cards meant to me, especially at some very difficult moments. And even more so to my fellow soldiers, because I would go around and hand them out, and it helped me realize that many of my fellow soldiers weren't fortunate enough to have a community like ours supporting them from thousands of miles away. So I'm here today with all these people that love you, not only to congratulate you on graduating, but I also want to thank you. Those acts of community, of caring for each other, and the importance of service, that has really all been instilled in each of you from a very young age by your parents and your teachers and your counselors and your friends and this entire Kingston community. And sometimes it really is those simple little things that may not even mean that much to you, like messages scribbled in crayon, that can make all the difference to someone else. Before I got those letters, when I sat in the seats you're in today, although we were arranged the other way, that's the only difference, I have to be honest and say I could not wait to leave Kingston and Ulster County. That was what I had in my head, and I imagine many of you have similar thoughts in your head right now. I felt that in order to be successful, I needed to leave home and go out into the world, to achieve big things, earn fancy degrees, have an important title. Within a week of graduating, I was reporting for summer training at West Point. I was stationed in Iraq. I was stationed in Colorado, deployed twice to Iraq. I went on to live in DC and earn my master's at Georgetown and start a business there. And looking back, I did hit a number of those milestones that I had defined in my 18-year-old mind. But if I'm really honest and reflective with myself, they almost always felt hollow and they felt anticlimactic. And when I really reflect back, the moments that I actually remember, the ones with real meaning and satisfaction, were when I knew I had meaningfully impacted someone else's life. when I really felt like I was being of service genuinely to others. And I know that that sounds cheesy, even as I say it, but I really believe it to be the truth. Of all of the adventures from my 4 years at West Point, my most vivid memory is helping a foreign exchange student from Cameroon who spoke French pass English, and the look on his face when he ran up the stairs into my room to hold up the note that he had passed that class. Of all the great things we did collectively in this community during the last 15 months to help people during the pandemic, the one image I most remember is a note that was written on a door and handed to one of our volunteers that was delivering meals across the county. And the note said, "We're 90 and 80 years old. This delivery is a blessing. Thank you. Be safe." And there was a little smiley face drawn at the bottom. So whether your next step is going to college, starting a job, serving in the military, I urge you to take a moment and just reflect and appreciate how fortunate you are to have grown up in this community, learning those values. Look around you now. Remember those small acts of kindness, of service, really, I believe, of love, that your fellow graduates, your teachers, and of course, your parents have shown to you, and that you've shown to them. As a community, these last 15 months, we have had a lot of dark moments. We lost loved ones. There was, especially at the beginning, widespread fear and anxiety. Lives and businesses, and of course, your schools were completely upended. As a class, just as you were reaching what was supposed to be this apex of your educational journey, everything was suddenly and cruelly just ripped away. Missing homecoming and May Day, not being able to compete in sports and clubs and have that sense of team camaraderie and be with your friends, losing classmates to suicide and gun violence. Yet for all the dark moments, I think the things we will all remember most was how our community, the Kingston High School community in particular, came together. I heard stories of your class leaders organizing a senior sunrise event on the first day of school so you could have some sense of normalcy and togetherness. Your parents, I think tonight, pulling together post-graduation parties and proms. Your class support team hand-delivering care packages to dozens of students at the height of the darkness of the pandemic, not so they could have the candy in it or the treats in it, but so that they could know that there was just somebody in the midst of all of that that actually cared enough about them to come to their door. Whether you realize it fully now or not, Ulster County and Kingston is a special place. Sometimes I think, like myself, you have to leave a little bit or get that perspective to fully appreciate it. We're not a perfect community. No community is. We still have a lot of work to do, but I can promise you that I will continue to work every day to ensure this is a community that we all remain proud of. That if you do want to stay here and raise your family here or come back here, you can find a good job, you can live in a nice home, you can send your kids to a great school. So I know I'm pushing up to or beyond my time limit, and I want to honor that request to be quick, so I'm going to leave you with this. Well, I do hope, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say that you all stay here or eventually come back here to Ulster County. I do ask that no matter where you go and what you decide to do, that you really get involved and create those same kind of opportunities, whatever they look like, to be of service. Volunteering at your SPCA, joining a school board, or coordinating a care package for a soldier deployed halfway around the world. As I saw in my years in the Army and definitely now in this role, that service teaches you to focus more on the things that you have in common with others and less on the differences. And other speakers talked about this at this moment in our country, a moment of great division and uncertainty. We desperately need more of that. And that's going to have to be on you all. So I'm asking you as you leave to be part of making that happen. And I know that your actions will have a ripple effect across our community and our country. So with that, I will end by saying, number one, thank you for listening. And more importantly, to the Kingston High School class of 2021, for all you have done and accomplished, and for all that you will continue to do in our community and beyond. We say thank you, And most importantly, join me in a thunderous round of applause to say congratulations, class of 2021.
Okay. Now Principal DeSico will demonstrate the intro of the collegiate program.
Thank you. Kingston High School has enjoyed the privilege of collaborating with SUNY Ulster for many years in the collegiate program. Juniors and seniors are able to take college-level courses taught at KHS, which enables them to build a college transcript during high school. 40 of our graduates tonight have earned over 30 credits with SUNY Ulster collegiate program. Absolutely. This is the equivalent of 1 year of college. These students should be recognized, and we now invite Cornelia Denver, who is SUNY Ulster's Associate Dean of Concurrent Academics and Professor of Business, to approach the podium and award the blue SUNY cord as each student is called to the stage. Angelia Alvarez Broadhead. Memphis Bernstein Collins. Paige Blakely. Austin Britton. Joseph Ciardi. Elizabeth Costello. Mason Delicio. Chase Deising. Alexander Dixon. Nicholas Ehring. Nadia Formazano. Gaetano Frendino. Nolan Fuller. Asia Gross. Colin Henn. Paul Hurling. Andrew Hill. Jacob Keller. Mudasir Khan. Nikki Necht. Courtney Kren. Sarah Lakai. Trevor Lachlan. Naila McIntosh. Nina Milgram. Alexandra Mitchell. Adam Murphy. Savannah Nimblett. Ryan Omar. Caitlin Origlio. Brendan Ortlieb. Nathaniel Parker. Emily Schatzel. Drew Shashinsky. Carolyn Vargas Hubner. Angelina Vertulo. Erica Vidal Garcia. Logan Volk. and Tyler Zambito. Congratulations, everybody. Good job. Congratulations. Everybody take a deep breath here. We'll wait till the students get back to their seats. Well, I guess this is the time we've all been waiting for. Now it's the time for the presentation of the class of 2021. At this time, it is an honor to present the class of 2021 to our superintendent, Dr. Padalino, and to declare that each candidate present here has fulfilled the requirements established by the Kingston School District Board of Education and the New York State Education Department, and is entitled to receive a Kingston High School diploma, CDOS, Career Development Occupational Studies, SAC, Skills and Achievement Commencement Credentials, TASK, formerly GED, or PTEC, Pathways in Technology Diploma. Dr. Padalino.
Thank you, Mr. DeSico, and congratulations to the class of 2021. It is my privilege to certify to the Board of Education President, Mr. James Shaughnessy, that the candidates present here are eligible for their diplomas.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone here on this beautiful evening. I have one sentence that I have to say, but I have a few sentences that I'd like to say beforehand. And this is on behalf of the Board of Education, my colleagues. They sort of know me as a numbers guy. And so I'll say that it's been 470 days since March 12, 2020, when Dr. Padalino announced that the next day we were closing schools because we had 2 cases of COVID-19 in the district. It's been a trying experience for all of us. Dr. Padalino and his cabinet have worked most of those days, and for that we are grateful. 9 days ago, he announced that we would be having a normal graduation this evening, everyone together, and here we are. So we thank the graduating class of 2021, other students, parents and families, faculty and staff, administrators and communities for your courage, dedication, fortitude, and patience. But please remember that COVID-19 hasn't disappeared. And so, while we hope for normalcy going forward, we all must remain vigilant. And with that, the sentence that I have to say is that by the power vested in me as President of the Board of Education, I am honored to declare that the candidates present are eligible to receive their diplomas, and they are entitled to all of the privileges pursuant to their issuance. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Jason Chen. Wait, 1 minute. Make sure you get your picture. Andrew Hill. Alexandra Mitchell. Brendan Arbiter. Joshua Townsend. I'll get it. Okay. Allison Beauvais.
Kwamel Alexander.
Samantha All.
Angelia Alvarez Broadhead.
Paige Blakely.
Memphis Bernstein Collins.
Gabriel Boyd.
Tyler Bolin.
Taylor Brady.
Lindsay Boy.
Gabrielle Burton.
Austin Britton.
Amelia Chavez.
Riley Caprati.
Kaylee Cook.
Joseph Ciardi.
Magdalena Cruz.
Jenna Coddington.
Alexander DeAngelis.
Elizabeth Costello.
Mason Delicio.
Vonda Daly.
Alexander Dixon.
Chase Dicing.
Nicholas Aaron.
Russell Dyers.
Annabelle Fisher. Nadia Formasano.
Destin Donahue.
Nolan Fuller.
Alishani Emmanuel.
Linnea Giebelhaus.
Sydney Flood.
Molly Green.
Gaetano Frandino.
Alessandra Gamir.
Mackenzie German.
Zoe Harvey.
Amelia Graham.
Colin Henn.
Asia Gross.
Halacia Hernandez.
Ava Goralnik.
Kira Hassapple.
Jacob Helhosky.
James Hubin.
Kira Hernandez.
Elizabeth Ingelis.
Paul Michael Hurling. Thank you.
Isaiah Jager.
Kalia Huff.
Jacob Keller.
Jacob Internicola.
Tristan Kinsel.
Isaac Jones.
Jessica Knight.
Mudassir Khan. It's okay. It's okay.
Sarah Lakai.
Nikki Connect.
Emma Lowen.
Courtney Kren.
Trevor Lachlan.
Shelby Lalonde.
Jared Matarazza.
Chaz Lobianco.
Nyla McIntosh.
So hard. Amelia Lachlan.
Lucy Marie Melchione.
Anastasia Maritsas.
Maisie Milliken.
Jenny Mead.
Tristan Moshan.
Nina Milgram.
Caitlin Montemora.
AJ Moresi.
Johnny Moot.
Juliana Montalto.
Adam Murphy.
Jessica Mons.
Janine Ohinia Jajay.
Maureen Mulready.
Ryan Omar.
Savannah Nimblet.
Brendan Ortlieb.
Kaylin Areglio. Hi, how are you?
Julie Pagan.
Carson Osterhout.
Alessandra Pinios.
Andreas Ulapis.
Raihan Kayum.
Nate Parker.
Mariam Razaku.
Jaque Preston.
Bianca Rogers.
Ainsley Quinn.
Rose Santorowski.
Wait. It is. George Morejo.
Courtney Schwark.
Gavin Richter.
Sydney Shepard.
Amber Roleri.
Drew Shoshensky.
Emily Schatzel.
Brian Sweeney.
Hannah Shambo.
Madison Toohey.
Colin Smith.
Carolyn Vargas Hubner.
Nathan Spader.
Erica Vidal Garcia.
Haley Turbush Cologne.
Tyler Weston.
Kaylee Urban.
Tyler Zambito.
Daisy Ventura.
Okay, I got it. Jay Ako.
Logan Volk.
Wait, Jefferson Aguirre?
Oh, yeah, Jefferson.
Jefferson Aguirre.
Daniel Zhao.
David Augustin Amagon.
Roa Weisenberg.
Mason Allen.
Tori Adams Marchand.
Guadalupe Arriaga.
Eric Santos Augustin.
Roman Aites.
Saeed Ahmed.
Joanna Alarcon Garcia.
Caitlin Albright.
Marjorie Ampara Mazzara.
Jacob Amato.
Austin Amel.
Athena Andrews.
Edson Arcos.
Jose Arellano.
Carlos Argueta Posados.
Olivia Arnold Maiden.
Robert Barrow.
Carlos Arroyo.
Haley Binney.
Mackenzie Banks.
Dustin Bennett.
Robert Benson.
Maya Blum Kapluck.
Cadence Blader.
Sophia Benito.
LaShawn Bonaventure.
Cody Brewster.
Gabe Bonds.
Samantha Callahan.
Elijah Bradley.
Jaden Campos.
Gianna Bradley.
AJ Christensen.
Demir Broadhead.
Ryan Coffey.
Shantiasia Bronson.
Zachary Craig.
Alex Brooks.
Christian Conrad.
Gregory Bono.
Brogan Connor.
Arlette Cardona.
Kevin Costa.
Jackson Chenault.
Faith Cox.
Michael Sione.
Cooper Curcio.
Jordan Conklin.
Miguel Cruz.
You were right. Sophie Connors.
Marcus Curry.
Molly Corkery.
Sean DeCastro.
Christina Couillard.
Devin DeSico.
Hayden Culver.
Julian De Silva.
Jessica Coy Call.
Storm DeGroot.
Caitlin Curran.
Crystal De Leon.
Nadia DeSico.
Riley Denham.
Thomas DeChero.
Jade Duran.
Andre Delanoy.
Ashante Faison.
Keith Denary.
Emily Ferry.
Granville Deneau.
Rebecca Finch.
Preston DeWitt.
Douglas Freeman.
Katie DiCarlo.
Clifford Fordham.
Nasiah Dorsey.
Corinne Frontera.
Cheyenne Dugan.
Ara Funes Eraso.
Andy Estrada Perez.
Giselle Fuller.
Cheyenne Ferris.
Jack Gallo.
Amanda Finch.
Gabriela Garcia Aguirre.
Amalia Forlani.
Solaris Garzon Du Bois.
Stephen Freer.
Julius Gorleski.
Johnny Fuentes.
Brian Estacio.
Zachary Fuller.
Nasir Hamilton.
Angel Gallo Rivera.
Isabella Harrell.
Elizabeth Gallo.
Thomas Heavey.
Keonta Gary.
Nikita Henderson.
Cody Gentili.
Lizette Hernandez.
Javon Green.
Kevin Hernandez Aguirre.
April Goulden.
Lisbeth Herrera.
Kyle Guyton.
Joshua Hintz.
Angel Harding.
Tanner Hafe.
Ayari Harris.
Karan Hilton Jackson.
Carson Hendricks.
Talia Einiges.
Luis Hernandez.
Jaidi Jagaru.
Serenity Herzog.
Ariana Johnson.
Will Hodder.
Kimberlyn Juarez.
Elisa Horvers.
Trinity Cara.
Christopher Ibbotson.
You're good. Jack Keegan.
Kieran Jackson.
Ashley Kelly.
Anthony Johnson.
Josiah Kenyon.
Shakori Jones.
Brant Kurtz.
Alexis Kane.
Colette Langlois.
Cameron Caden.
Isaiah Laban.
Dominique Kelly.
Antoine Leonard.
Lourdes Kennedy.
Amilcar Lopez Cruz.
Dustin Knox.
Angel Guillermo Lozada.
Natalia Lamella.
Shailene Maldonado.
Christina Leo.
Fernando Mateo.
William Leon.
Savannah Mazzone.
Austin Lortz.
Evan Marinin.
Jenna Markel.
Sophia McDonald.
Madeline Marte Garcia.
Daphne McWaba.
Michael Matos.
How are you? Good shape, Kitty. Vincente Mendez.
Jimmy McCardle.
See you. Anthony Monroe.
Hunter McCombs.
Alexander Morales Munoz.
Lanasia McLean.
Landon Mowry.
Anthony Mendez.
Damian Nunez. Just tell me your name.
Megan Miller.
Charisma Nieves.
Yvette Miracu.
David Osterhout.
Devin Moret.
Contreve Oliver.
Shane Molstay.
Jesse Pacheco Reyes.
Jessica Navarrete Perez.
Clayton Patillo.
Christian Navarrete Rodriguez.
Alexander Perconti.
Jacob Nosenchuk.
Brenda Perez Aguilar.
Cameron O'Brien.
Isaiah Pittman.
Elmer Ordonez.
Matthew Podiak.
Adriana Page.
Ty Quash.
James Pavlov.
Cassidy Rack.
Angel Perez.
Blanca Ramirez Heredia.
Sean Permenter.
Alexander Roush.
Alexis Poirier.
Martha Reyes de Jesus.
Angel Porto Real.
Jose Rios.
Zach Prendergast.
Nesa Navarrete Jimenez.
Min Quach.
Alize Rivera.
Angelo Ralph.
Patience Robinson.
Olivia Reeder.
Zoe Rolls.
Chloe Reynolds.
I don't know if I can read this. Shaquan Royal.
Tanasia Rivera.
Tatiana Russell.
Jamez Royal.
Joshua Santiago.
Joshua Rios.
Cody Schwark.
Al Rojas.
Melanie Scott.
Ben Rylance.
Janae Simpson.
Caterino Rodriguez.
Roxanne Smith.
Mikkel Scott.
Destiny Stewart.
Carter Sickler.
Angelina Tacti.
Nicholas Snyder.
Eric Tapia Patron.
Raymond Rudall.
Anthony Taylor Jr.
Elijah Timbrook. Straker.
Damari Thomas.
Kenneth Straker.
Naya Simone Toole.
Stop and shake hands and get your diploma cover. Emma Spadafora.
Douglas Umana Morales.
Olivia Ottaviano Scatoro.
Javier Valencia.
Layla Sanagra.
Riley Waddell.
Dominic Taylor.
Devin Wagner.
Jocelyn Torelli.
Tevin Walker.
Sanaya Tunison.
John Weaver. Joe Williams.
That's right, name.
Marley Uratia Sagastume.
Zachary Williams.
Candace Van Tassel.
Savannah Zuby.
Johnny what? Johnny Ventura Leo. Xander Vogt. Calvin Wade. Corey Waldheim. Levi Walters. Destiny Weiss. Christian Wiley. Kaylee Williams. Caitlin Winchell. Andres Zuniga Torres.
Good afternoon, class of 2021. Make some noise. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Angela Armstrong. I'm the assistant principal of this amazing class. During this high school tenure, we lost 3 beloved members of our class: Kaylee Brady, Brian Scott, Raymond Ray Ray Robinson Jr. I ask everybody to take a moment of silence. Thank you. I want to read a letter, a modified letter that was written from our support team, Mr. Idella, Ms. Madonna, Ms. Timbrook, Ms. Coleman, Ms. Whitty, and Ms. Matthews. 4 years ago, the class of 2021 students began their KHS high school journey. You entered with different experiences, expectations, and plans for your future. We loved you all from the moment we met you. We were so excited to work with you for the next 4 years, to help navigate all that life would throw at you and to plan your future after KHS. Then the unthinkable happened. On March 13th, 2020, when our schools shut down due to COVID-19. Without a chance to say goodbye to each other, we all became isolated from each other. Thankfully, Microsoft Teams became the tool to reconnect you to your classes and to each other. You have survived so much and lost so much. No spring sports, no musical theater, no end-of-the-year celebrations, no homecoming, not a traditional May Day, to name a few. You were dealt with painful losses of 3 of your classmates and have endured those losses with grace and dignity. And we are in awe of your strength. The adversity you've faced has built your character, expanded your ability to adapt to ever-changing situations, and increased your compassion for those less privileged. We have watched you grow in independence, encouraged to face the unknown, tech literacy, resiliency, and in connection with your community. We are so very proud of you. As you leave KHS and enter the next part of your life, please remember to treat everyone with kindness, help those in need, and do your best to make a positive impact wherever you go, and thank those who have helped you along the way. We will miss you, but we are excited for your future. Now, without further ado, I ask you to stand. Now, move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2021.
I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
This now ends our ceremony. Congratulations, everyone. Students, don't forget to pick up your diplomas in the back of the stage. Thank you for coming, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.